Peace. So this is part 2 of this weekly PowRa, with the title being I Am, and then you fill in the blank for the week that we're starting off this time around on the 4th until the 10th of May. Okay, and we are on the 8th day of the month, and this is Venus Day. We have Temperance with Twin Flame. Okay, and Venus Day is the 6th day of the week, and it's all about acquiring harmony, peace and bliss and love in your family, in your home, within yourself, and it's a mental day. It's a great day to check here what is abundant about you and what you find and deem pleasurable and leisurable. Okay, the color therapy is green and magenta, and we have the aromatherapy being rose, and the mineral therapy being copper and brass. Okay, and this time round, this Venus day is an 8 vibration with an undertone of 33, which is that master number. We have Luna in Scorpio. We just come out of the full moon energy, and Luna is north of Antares. Okay, and with that 33 is that Christ consciousness number. It's that double the 3 that I always call the Trinity, the co-creative magic maker, creator. Okay, and it be Luna being north of Antares. Antares means anti-Aries or anti-self, and that is, like we've been talking about this week, is all about you checking the stuff that goes against your true self, that is perpetrated, and foremost that you perpetrate, because there's only so much you can do with the things outside of yourself. You have to do the things that you have, because those make up part of our lessons in life. But it's how we react and how we move forward in spite of it. Okay. And with that twin flame energy is that expanding beyond the physical, understanding that those are lessons. Remember that everything, the good, the bad, the indifferent, is for our growth, part of our purpose, for us to keep moving, elevating. And the undertone oracle message from my divine love deck is be that unique higher self. Okay, this is for the whole week, alongside the Chariot, moving forward, moving past the dead weight, fervently, like really just keep it pushing, in spite of the things that try to hold you back, in spite of your own shadow that holds you back, in spite of the energies around that's cultivating all the bullshit to keep you back. You have to keep pushing, taking time with yourself, understanding yourself, integrating yourself, which is the message for the month. We're going to be actively, if you're aligned to universal law and the universal truth and natural law, we're going to be actively working on integrating ourselves. Okay, there's a blank state here right now. We have to remember that we are spirit first and matter after. I guess that's why the cards keep dropping. So, and remembering that whatever comes about in the physical has formulated somehow in the spiritual first and foremost. And it's about you checking that, not racking your brain, but just taking your time. It will all come to you if you make the time. Okay. Right. Okay. The Temperance, again, that balance, taking time to realize your gifts outside of your physical self. Not what you look like, not what your house is like, not what what your friends be like, but your unique gifts and talents, how your mind works, what moves your heart, and moving with the internal first and the external after, and balance the two, work them both. Come on. Alright, Mama Entrepreneur Duties. Gladly though, don't watch that, boo. Okay, so the 9th day of the month, on the Saturn day, which is the 7th day of the week, we have the 10 of Wands with the Catalyst. Interesting stuff. Oh, the wind is blowing. It's kind of chilly. Not really, but a little bit. The clouds gone over the soul and shit. Okay, where are we? The 9th day of the week, we have an undertone of 8. Okay, and we have Luna in Ophiuchus, and we have the Eta Lyrids meteor shower. Okay, and before we move, on the 7th day of the week, it's a great day to take a sabbatical. It's a physical and mental day, and 7 is all about spirituality, reflection, and taking time to check self. Okay, and it being a physical and mental day, I think is very interesting because Saturn is the ruler of our of this plane, almost is the granddaddy of this plane. So you have your mother and father, which is soul and moon, your actions and your emotions, your actions and your reactions even. And then we have the grandfather. The grandfather has been here for a time, has had has got some lessons. If he's an should in Saturn's case is an elder, because we have to differentiate between old people and elder people. Elder is a person who has wisdom that can bestow gifts upon the generations before or after it, or before and after, which one? After it, even before sometimes. And an older person is just a person that's growing in age, okay, not always in wisdom, right? And so Saturn is that taskmaster, the cruel to be kind master. It's master because it's mastered almost the physical plane, and it gives you some lessons and restrictions for you to check and how you can elevate in this plane. Okay, it being the 9th day of with the undertone of 8, which 8 is also a Saturn number, but so is the 7th energy. But in this case, it's the 9 and the 8, and 9 is that culmination, that understanding humanity, humans' rights and humans' place on Earth. Okay, and the 8 is that understanding the cycles of life. Okay, the seasons and how they move us and how they change and what they can do for us, how we can work with it to gain our abundance in life. And then we have Luna in Ophiuchus. And Luna in Ophiuchus is like, I always say Ophiuchus is either really good or really bad. There's no real in between. and that means that you have like with this I got distracted. Hold on a minute. Let me pause. Okay, I got it. So I was saying really good or really bad is because the Ophiuchus is that deep side of the spiritual realm. It's in the galactic center. Okay, so it's like we always mention that we have Scorpio that enters the deep, and Ophiuchus is the dip in the deep of the deep, and then Sagittarius is the rising up from the deep. So the spiritual realm is like everything in life. There's a high and low vibration. Okay, so you can either like bring out the spiritual understanding of earth, of life, and work it to elevate yourself and others, or to manipulate and constrain others. Just like we see play out all the time with government and the masses, or the many and the few, the 1%, and all of these things. Like the knowledge of life is what really is what we are all here for, really and truly. We are here, like I mentioned not too long ago, Earth is a school. Okay, we are beyond our physical selves. Earth is a school where we take time to understand what physical life is all about, but also always remember that spirit is first and matter is after, which is what that full moon in Libra is all about. Helping us integrate, and like this month is all about integrating our yin and our yang. That's our spiritual self and our physical self. With the 10 of Wands, it's a completion of you feeling lack. In this card here, it's representing that, realizing the wisdom of life. And the Catalyst card is all about you getting to the point, or you being checked to a point where you have to just realize that, hold on, point is losing me. I got this energy beside me that's kind of pulling me. The catalyst is all about you realizing the need for change. I just thought of Need for Speed. I think that's a game, isn't it? With the chariot energy there. But need to, not speedily, because you don't want to do anything hush rush. We want to take time and really like envelop it and develop it, and so we can be more farther. It's a blank state out here, for us to realize these things. And we have the Eta Lyrids meteor shower. And the Eta Lyrids is like, we recently had the Lyrid meteor shower, and the Eta Lyrid is like a smaller constellation in the Lyra, smaller star even in the Lyra constellation. And this time around, it's still about us realizing our light body. But this time it's about us staying connected and keep activating our light body, not straying away from it, not allowing ourselves to derail ourselves from it, or others impede on it. Our connection to our higher self and our light body activation. So on this Saturday, we can either be physical, about staying on purpose, staying the course, and realizing our yin and yang and how we can move best in this life. Or we can be more mental about it, see where do we need to check and how do we need to move. Right? And then on Soul Day, we have the King of Wands with all the pieces together are one. Okay, that's the 10th day of the month. And we have 1010, yes, because this month is all about this month's recurring number is that 10. Although collectively we have the ancient being an 8 vibration and the modern being a 9 vibration, put that together. The 10th day of the month is also an undertone of 10, which is what I mean. Like every time we have a 10 or 1 energy, it's a 10 or 1 energy. Okay, and this is Soul Day, which is the first day of the week. And that first day is all about initiation, determination, willfulness, leading. And it's a physical day. The color therapy is orange and white, and the aromatherapy is frankincense, and the mineral therapy is gold, right? And we have Luna in Sagittarius. So we went through that started deep with Scorpio moon on the 8th, and then the dip in the deep with the Luna in Ophiuchus on the 9th, and now Sagittarius rises with the Luna in Sagittarius on the 10th. And again, like with spirituality, you can either use it to rise or to be a demise, okay? And this week we've been, as always, from my side, is always to be your unique higher self, okay? We're not here to put anybody else down. We're here to elevate ourselves and others. We're not here to manipulate and constrain other people's energy. We have our own, we realize our own, and we appreciate that. And we're not comparing and contrasting because they have that and they have that and we want something. No, we have our own that we're supposed to be working on. Okay? And the King of Wands is that leader within us, within the self. It's that fire sign energy. It's that passion, the fuel, the zeal to keep things moving in a high vibrating state. And it also can be low vibrating with, just moving too much too fast and too many places. And not to say that you can't, do many different things, because we're not one-sided. We're not just like, I personally don't believe that everybody should just only wear one hat, I'm naturally a polymath. I work with many different things, and we can, and we should. And again, this quote here, all the pieces apart together are one. We can take different routes to get to one space, one phase, one understanding. And we have Mercury and Mars both moving out. We have Mercury moving out of Aries into Taurus, and we have Mars moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius on the 10th. Okay. And Mercury in Taurus, we're going to be more configured about our security, our material world. Again, it's that Libra energy, sorry, not Libra, it's that Venus energy as well, Taurus. And we will be coming into Taurus season shortly. We're probably in the shadow phases now. Soul officially enters, and I say official, but you know, there's a meme going around that I always put out and always try to make mention of, that when the planet's bodies have a certain date to move, they don't necessarily move on that day, but the energy is more fixed on that day. So depending on who you are, me empathetically, I'll feel the energies like 10 days before, and most of the collective will feel it 3 days before, and then we have that pinpoint, which is that date, that marker, to say, okay, like officially it should have moved that way now, you know. But again, it could be either or, give or take both 3 to 10 days, you know, for the energy to be settled. So yes, we're soon coming into Taurus season. It's all about that nature, nurture, beauty, you know, security, foundation, groundation. And Mercury being moving into Taurus, that's what we're going to be thinking about more. That's what we're going to be communicating more. And with Mars going into Aquarius, it's about how you're going to acquire that, because you've been in Capricorn. Mars has been in Capricorn for a minute, so it has taken time to understand its ambitions in life and what it actually truly wants. And now it's going to be like, okay, how am I going to move towards that? Who do I need to work with, or what do I need to work with to get there? And understanding always self first and others thereafter. Now, it's important to make note of when we're talking about self-love and self-rest, does never ever negate others. We don't live on this world by ourselves, but it's very important to work with ourselves first, because then we get too dependent on other people being there and other people doing this and all these things. That's where the whole, you know, comparison and contrasting comes in as well. Remember, all the pieces apart together are one. Like, you're never going to be separated from anything or anyone. We are all connected. We're all made of soul. And soul's creation makes other creation that's also attached to soul. It's a derivative, let's say. Okay. So that's the weekly message, y'all. Remember to move forward, be in your highest self, always stay connected, and realize that this is a blank slate phase right now we're in collectively. Like, we have all the time to really get to know who we are and why we are, and how we can best move in being that. And the best move is always to be your highest self. Realize that you have work to do. You came here to work as well as play. Okay? Balance the two. Realize that everything comes from spirit first and matter there, and then it becomes matter thereafter. All the unseen things make up the seen things. Alright? Much love and peace, and enjoy.